From the moment I picked up Monument Valley, I was drawn into this fantastical world. Released in 2014, Monument Valley is an isometric indie puzzle game, where players guide the lost Princess Ida through a series of whimsical landscapes. The enticing gameplay paired with a dreamlike aesthetic and thoughtful designs makes this probably the most beautiful app I've ever downloaded. And others praise this game's beauty too. Monument Valley has been applauded again.
The winner is Monument Valley.
And again.
Monument Valley.
And again.
Monument Valley.
And while yes, the graphics are amazing, I think there's a more important, often unacknowledged aspect of Monument Valley that deserves high recognition. And that would be its intriguing, seemingly backwards approach to game design. Game designers normally begin crafting their games around a particular story, unique plot point, or memorable character. That's the conventional way that movies, books, games, really the way any creative work is conceptualized. Story and characters first, then mechanics and design. However, lead designer Ken Wong flipped this method on its head with Monument Valley. He focused not on the story first, but simply on creating distinctive works of art. This is MC Escher, an artist who explored ideas of impossible geometry, symmetry, reflections, and perspective in his work. And it was this piece, Ascending and Descending, that sparked the creation of Monument Valley's first concept art. In addition, the diverse architecture of Morocco, Pakistan, India, and other countries influenced design aesthetics. See here, architecture with Islamic influences, patterns and color schemes inspired by Morocco and Romania, and an overall whimsy influenced by Escher. And the character design was carefully thought out too. The character sprite for Ida was left intentionally ambiguous, allowing the character to connect to a wider audience. And the crow people were designed as an inversion of our protagonist. Their black color and flip design very plainly contrasts Ida, defining the crow as the enemy of the game. This thoughtful design process meant every single scene in the game was conceived not just as a level, but as a visual masterpiece. So with the artistic vision fully realized first, designers had to move on to their next challenge, developing intuitive ways to interact with the game. Now, Monument Valley barely teaches you how to play. In fact, there are only ever 2 instructions given in the game: tap to move and hold to rotate. Everything else is left up to the player to discover on their own. This hands-off approach was inspired in part by Windowsill, a 2009 Flash computer game. Simple visual cues and understandable designs naturally teach players how to navigate this digital world. And Monument Valley focuses heavily on intuitive interactions like this. For example, the crow people are never introduced as antagonists. Rather, their role is defined by their character design and verbal reactions. Similarly, the rules and the logic of this world are never explicitly taught. For example, you cannot rotate certain platforms while Ida is standing on them, and this rule is taught only through visual and auditory cues. See here, when Ida stands on this platform, the pegs retract. These are just a couple of the ways Monument Valley used intuitive design to teach players the rules of the game. So now with the levels design, creators wanted to do one last thing: add a story based on the design. Climbing across, around, and in between magical buildings inspired developers to write a story about journey, about self, and about loss. And this story is told through set pieces, or small events, like this one, that help drive Ida's narrative. Set pieces, along with chapter titles, help narrate the minimalistic game. Now, adding the story last is rare. Imagine how hard it would be to film a movie without a script. But for modern mobile apps, this approach is becoming more and more common. And for Monument Valley, this approach was a tremendous success. Now, I'm not saying that this is the best way to design a game, or that all designers should switch this method. But I do think Monument Valley offers a unique look at an alternate approach to the level design process. And I think that this approach might be able to help guide some other lost souls. Your task: create original sprites for use in your own video game concept. Next, craft a functional level for your game, complete with set pieces and obstacles. Finally, turn your concept into a crowdfunding proposal, featuring a game overview and tiered reward system.